It goes down the wire this weekend. The Premier League title race will climax on match week 38 of the divisions. Quite an interesting season. We'll share our thoughts and also preview what is an important week ahead, including the big game against Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City. My name is Ayomide. This is the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. So it's going to be an exciting one, final one for the Premier League season. And James Agberebi will join me one more time. It's been a long while anyway, but good to have you back, James.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I would like to first take your thoughts about the Premier League title race. It was a race of 3 at some point, but now it's all down to 2. And it's down to the final day of the season. What has your thoughts been around it?
Well, it has been an exciting journey so far. Just like what you said, we thought it was going to be a 3-horse race, but now we have just 2 teams, Manchester United, Manchester City and Arsenal. And we all know that it's not in Arsenal's hands anymore.
At this point, yes.
Exactly. So they are looking for favours from their North London rivals, the club that they
so hate.
Exactly. Now you need favours from them. So I think looking at it, I think Manchester City is still edgy because we know that when it gets to this stage, they've been doing it for like how many?
The last 7 years,
and you know they've always come out top. You can ask Liverpool. You know
those ones only came out top once.
Exactly.
But so, I really want us to talk about Tottenham because it's a thing of there's 2 sides of a coin to this, really. Tottenham Hotspur are still in the race for Champions League football. Yes. Some may argue it's not in their hands or what have you. Arsenal, just like Arsenal, are still in the race. Tottenham Hotspur at this point in time are 4 points behind Aston Villa. We're going into the final week. Now, Tottenham Hotspur will play Man City. And that's quite dicey because Man City will need to win that game. And if they win that game, it feels like the title is all sealed on the night. Meanwhile, if Tottenham loses on Tuesday night, it's also a catastrophe for their season because they won't be heading to the Champions League where they want to be.
It's all boys. I don't know. Everything is still open somehow, and it's like teams now have to rely on other teams for them to now to get the job done. Just like Arsenal, they know that for them to really to really land this trophy, they need the support from their neighbours. And for Tottenham Hotspur to be in the Champions League, because in a way they are still mathematically still in the race.
Still possible, yes.
Yes, because what they need to do now is to pray that Liverpool defeat Aston Villa, so that they still have a chance in going into the final fixture next weekend. You know, so everything's still open. It's going to be a tough, exciting moment in the last day of the league.
Yeah, let's talk about how exciting it is, because what we've had in recent years, although last year was a little bit similar to this year, only that I didn't get to the last day of the season. But it's not every time in the last 7 years that you've had 2 teams battle it down.
Yes.
But really, we love the Premier League because it's this sort of race that determines the title. You know, I'm talking about the Barclays years. I'm talking about many years ago, when, you know, the likes of Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, they will slug it out until the end of the season. So I want to ask you, which would you prefer? Would you prefer one team dominating like we've seen and we'll still have, you know, other teams playing good football as well? Or will you prefer this sort of battle? I mean, you've seen the sort of thing that happens on both sides, but which would you prefer?
Yeah, I think I prefer when we have like 2-3 teams battling it out, you know, because you don't know where it's going to end up. I remember, was it like last 2 seasons when Manchester City had to come from 2 goals down against Aston Villa? That was how Liverpool lost out on the last day. You know, so I think we just that in this case now, I think City are just slightly ahead, you know, because you know that once they defeat Tottenham Hotspur, the game against West Ham, you know, you're going to like give 100% guarantee that they're going to win it. You know, but it's still good that at least going into the final day of the season, anything can happen. You know, so that's the exciting thing about the Premier League compared to other leagues where they're already they're already through with the league. Just,
most times, more often than not. So let's look at the final day now. I mean, you've already told me what you prefer, but let's look at this final day. Arsenal will play Everton. That's their last game of the season. Arsenal's not going to play in the midweek. and Manchester City will play West Ham United.
Yes.
You have to put in perspective. Whatever happens in Tottenham game will also make this just as important. But let's say in the event that it's important now, West Ham United have only won 1 game in 7 matches, whereas playing Everton in a title decider is not going to be an easy thing for Arsenal, even though they're going to be at home now. Now, do you think that if, for instance, Man City defeats Tottenham in midweek, or let's say Tottenham gets some points off Man City, do you feel that Man City have what it takes on final day? Or who would you favor? I think the right question to ask really is, who would you favor if it happens that City drop points and it still goes down the final day, to determine who has the advantage? Who would you favor between Arsenal or Man City?
Well, it's a dicey one. I think the most important game for Arsenal now is the Tottenham Man City game. They believe that going into the final game, they have what it takes to see out Everton. But you know, football, you can't predict. They might go into that game needing to win outrightly, and it becomes a problem, tension and everything. Remember what happened to Manchester City in the 2012 title race between them and Manchester United, when all they needed to do was beat QPR or QPR,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So what they went through.
Exactly.
This is a team that have been blowing other teams away, but when it got to that final day, the tension got in. So I won't rule out that happening to Arsenal. You know, they've been flying, and they lost to Aston Villa. Nobody saw that coming. So the pressure will be too much. If what they need in that game is just win and seal the title, but pressure, they've not won the league since 2004. And they're coming this far. They will win, but Everton will make life very difficult for them.
Okay, one final question on the show today for you, James. Now, I want us to talk about Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
Arsenal folk believe that they've had a successful season. I don't know where you stand in that side of the argument. I don't know which side of the argument you stand. But for me, I think that Mikel Arteta is just another trophyless season again if they don't win this title. And you'll have been, 5-6 years without a significant trophy. Maybe you want to call the FA Cup. Yes, FA Cup is an important trophy. But for Mikel Arteta and the process that Arsenal fans have been trusting from day one, if they don't win the title, do you still think that's a successful season for them?
Well, that's a tricky one because look at the club like Manchester United. They can go on and win the FA Cup. You know, we all seen how they perform badly in the league, but they can end the season with a trophy. For Arsenal, you can look at it on both ways, because finally will say, okay, they are against a monstrous team like Manchester City, so it's like there's no shame if you lose the title, and for them to have dragged Manchester City all this to this level, you know, so that's why I say it's a two-way thing. If they don't win, because you expect the big club like Arsenal to I think be winning
something significant,
but because of the team that is in front of them, Manchester City, I mean, it's a tough call.
So will you say Arsenal have been successful or not?
You want to win the major trophies, and for Arsenal, you can't say you are still.
But pronounce the word. Pronounce the word. Why are you not pronouncing the word? Pronounce the word.
Well, for me, I won't call it a successful season.
Okay.
I won't call it.
I think I agree with you.
They have the players. I think they just shot themselves on the foot, especially when they lost to Aston Villa. So you can't come this far and you can't call it a successful season. For me,
yeah.
It's not.
What would you call it for you? Let us know in the comment section. We have to end the show somewhere around here. Thank you very much for watching and for being the consistent follower of the show. And to be part of our community here at Garden Nigeria, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and also tap the notification bells to get all our latest content. Thank you very much, James, for making the show once again. Welcome. We hope to see you even more in future. Yeah. And thank you very much for watching. My name is Ayomide. I'll see you next time.